We wouldn't be here without the support of the school, Coach Swinney and, Dan Radakovich, Tim Bray over there, Tim Match especially. He's our day-to-day guy. And, we realize we are guests at this university. And, having been here, and Coach talked about preparation. It's no different, with a movie. I've been working on this thing for 12 years. And, brought it over to Disney about a year and a half ago and continued to develop the script, and we are here now shooting. And all these things become labor of love, and I spent a lot of time here at the school over the last couple months and scouting the whole school and going to see a couple games and being a part of what it is here. It's pretty awesome. I went to University of Maryland, so I know about the ACC. I pitched at Maryland and actually pitched here against Clemson right after the spring football game in 1980, and it went from about 1,000 fans to about 15,000 in the fifth inning. But it's great coming to this school and seeing what it's all about. And what we're trying to do in this week is to capture everything about the school. I kind of broke it up into the football portion and then the non-football portion. So we're shooting today at Cooper Library, and then we come outside and we have a night scene walking, and again it's '06, so it's period, so you have to be aware of not shooting any of the new buildings and just try to be as authentic as possible. So we're shooting all around campus. We have a couple scenes at the SO Club. Scott Kiefer, broke a story in his newspaper about, what we're doing, and the response, I think, has been pretty amazing throughout the community. So, we're hoping that, the fans support our little halftime 7 minutes of shooting, and they can, show what I've seen, at Death Valley last couple games I've been at, and it is Charlotte, and so hopefully, things are going well, and we can keep people in the seats. And, I was just thinking in '06, they didn't have the iPhone. So I watch everybody when we're up on that hill, and they're all taking videos up at Howard Rock and the rundown. So we got to remind people that those phones didn't exist then. But, having watched everything, and that rundown is just incredible. And it's going to be the end of our film. And I think the university is going to be really proud of this film when it comes out in about a year. And we're just so fortunate to be here and to be a part of this, what this school means. And it's all about family. And I think Ray's story exemplifies that, what the support from the school and how that all laid out. Rarely do you get the NCAA looking good, and they certainly do in this case. It was kind of a long shot that he got this waiver, and he really had to pick between playing football in school and his brother, and he got to keep both. So, really inspirational film. I've done a bunch for Disney, and I think this one's going to be right up there with the other films I've done. So, we even have Mr. Bennett here. George Bennett's going to have a little scene in the film. So, again, trying to be authentic and get the flavor. So, if you're an alumni and you watch this film, you're going to be I think really happy just about how it's portrayed and what we've the attention to detail that we've put into it. So, any questions at all?
You mentioned you've been involved in this for 12 years.
What would it be like at halftime from your perspective? How you're going to shoot what you need in 7 minutes?
Well, we got a bunch of cameras. So we start up at Howard Rock, and as soon as that halftime ends, we're going to be coming down that hill, and the school's been so supportive, and we're going to keep that carpet down probably through the first half. We're going to run down, and then we're going to go right into two defensive plays, and then we're going to end on the kickoff. So it's all going to look very strange when we're shooting. There's going to be a lot of cameras out there and a lot of switching between our double lead actor and our lead actor. So the hope is that we can kind of get the fans fired up, and we'll have Dale, the PA announcer, kind of have a script to follow a little bit and remind people to keep in their seats so that, I know a lot of people leave at halftime sometime and they can come back in, but hopefully we can keep everybody here, and I think it'll help immensely with the film when it comes out. Rudy did something back for their film. They were allowed to shoot at halftime as well, and if you look at those scenes, you can't replicate something like that when you're out on the field and you see this, 80,000, 85,000 people, especially at Death Valley. I got to experience it now a couple times, and it's pretty awesome.
You mentioned you'd been 12 years with this project. Who originally brought the project to you, and what sold it to you?
Yeah, I remember seeing, it was, I think it was on I don't know if it was College Game Day, but it was they did a piece, ESPN did, and then it was Player of the Week or ABC News Person of the Week. It just got all this attention, and at the time, I think I had done The Rookie and Miracle, and I was about to start the movie Invincible, and that's when the story kind of happened in '06, and it just kind of bubbled up, and a lot of people will bring me stuff or tell me about things, so I don't know exactly, how it went, but it bubbles up, and we set it up at a different studio initially, and I think in early 2007, once we got the rights, and, we developed it, had a really good script, but the movie just never went there. It was at Walden Media, and then, everything's timing. So now, about a year and a half ago, we brought it to Disney, and here we are. So it's, movies are tough to get made. You got, there's a lot of, scripts out there, and very few get to become movies. So we're really fortunate that this is one of them.
Is the profile of the Clemson program now, you think that's what got it?
No, I think that's just lucky. That I don't think Disney looked at it and goes, oh, Clemson's really good now. Let's do this film. I think it was all about the film and about the emotional core of it and what it represented. I think the bonus is that this school has become such a national power and prominence. So I think it'll help, the film, because certainly the school's become a big brand, and you want to get attention. So I think it all helps.
Is Ray Ray playing a role in the movie as an advisor?
Who?
Ray Ray.
He'll be behind the camera. He's been helping train our actors and the person portraying him. He's been a great help so far, and I think he's outside here, but he's been an amazing guy. I mean, again, I've known him now for 12 years, and these things kind of come, and there was a lull where nothing was happening, and you always kind of keep these things. I just tell him, don't worry. Hey, if it's not next year, it's gonna. Sometimes it takes 10 years. Well, this one took 12, 13 years, and I think he feels more prepared for it as well. We were talking, and it's very surreal for him. Having watched people go through this, especially small stories. That it's not about a guy winning a Super Bowl. He didn't have an NFL career, but, these small stories sometimes resonate the most because it's just him getting out on that field and being able to, be a part of this school and having his brother there and all the people that have supported him. That's what's going to make people clap and cry at the end of this film.
The depth of knowledge that maybe you gained after initially seeing him as the person of the week or seeing the stories, were your eyes even more open once you kind of dug into it and started planning the movie?
Oh yeah, and then when you have to kind of create a screenplay, you get to know even more about really whatever you can say in 5 minutes in a news program really doesn't go to the depth of what that story is. So I think you got to have a great screenplay. So we really worked a long time and very hard with this. And also, there's a lot of funny moments. Imagine, a young kid on campus and a fish out of water. So you want to get that blend of emotion and humor and excitement, and you want to entertain the audience. So it really has all these.
Do you guys have a time frame on how long production will be? And kind of
We finished day 2. So we're shooting. Where are we shooting? We're around campus, Cooper Library, and then around campus, shooting our night scenes. Friday we shoot at is it Jervy, Jim? The old. Remember, we can't shoot in here. We shot in the old. I mean, their old facilities are unbelievable. Like you're like, that's the old place. We shot in the film room over at the stadium, and so it's we finish up. We shoot one whole week here. And again, you want to go wide with these kind of movies because we're not going to shoot the whole film on Clemson. We're enough of having 200 people kind of in and out. I know it's an inconvenience, but we try to get as much wide stuff as you can where you're showing the university, and then we'll take the rest of the film to Atlanta and shoot the rest there.
Who's playing Ray Ray? Who's playing Famor?
Guy Jay Reeves. All the great thing about this film, it's all young actors. We didn't have to get big stars for the movie. It's I think what the movie's about is really the star, and Disney supports that. They're so good at these films. They've been so supportive of the films I've done in the past. Kid Jay Reeves, and then young kid who was in one little small thing named Thaddeus Mixon, who just just in Atlanta casting, there were over 5,000 people put on tape, and then we cast the main roles out of L.A., probably another. I mean, there's thousands of people. So it's like winning a lottery, and once we get all this group of kids together, especially kind of the kids around Ray, it's it's great. I mean, they were already fast friends, and you look for that kind of chemistry. So it's been great so far. Really a lot of fun, even after 2 days. And these are pretty long, hard days. You're shooting 12 hours, and the crew, 200-300 people working. It's pretty amazing to watch. Scott, you came by the set. It's something to behold when all this activity you see what goes into making a movie.
Who were you emphasizing among either teammates or coaches that were around him at the time?
Yeah, we have Coach Bowden, and other than that, all our other coaches are just composite characters. Instead of getting hearing all the different stories, and we just decided to let's focus on a couple, and it's all about getting the feeling of this. We're not making a documentary, we're making a film, so. These events are inspired, to make this screenplay, because you got to entertain people. But it's the story's there. I mean, it's all out there, and old articles and what had been reported on in the past. So then it's just about writing a great screenplay.
Curious as to how you came about the title for the film.
We long time. It's always hard to get titles, and we love the double meaning of that he played safety. And just what the word safety means. We've got a great shot that we shot day one, where we have a Clemson period bus, and it's pulling away, and you see on the back safety, and it's like everyone's responsibility, and it's like kind of has this great importance, and it's got the 2 tiger paws next to it, and it's like I think it's the end of our title sequence, and there's your title, and I think it I think it has that great double meaning.
What's the distribution timetable? Does it go to theaters when? Do you know when?
Yeah,
It's
they don't give a date at this point. It'll be probably between mid-August and let's say November, and Disney Plus is Disney's answer to Netflix. So what you're going to see now is all this energy going into these platforms, which is the place so many people will watch it, and they're going to really eventize this. We hope to bring, hopefully, a screening here when the movie's done, and get the support of of the school, and try to really have just a huge screening here. That's what I would advocate for. Maybe over at Little John or something.
It just goes to that platform. It doesn't go to.
Yeah, they have the option to release it theatrically. I think just like Netflix does. Again, they don't. These movies now. Really studios are, unless it's a big Marvel or tentpole movie or a horror movie, those movies in the middle will now kind of land on and get these big promotions on the platforms. But they have options that they can do with these films, release it kind of in certain areas or just on the platform. But that's where most people get their entertainment now.
When you say composite character, what is that? Sorry, I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It just means, yeah, you're just kind of, instead of having one real person that you're dramatizing, there might be a lot of, there might be, one story from this coach, one story from that coach, one from this. We really have 2 main coaches, Bowden and a coach Simmons. He's just a created character, but you're kind of piling all these different anecdotes and stories into one coach. So you call it a composite character, like an amalgamate, like a bunch of different coaches into one, really. So.
What's the significance of ending the film with the running of the hill?
Of what?
About the running of the hill.
Oh, well, I mean, you should know that, right? It's I heard a lot about Howard Rock and how the Rock came to be, and but it's become this great significance, and I didn't really even see that clip about the most exciting 25 minutes or 25 seconds in sports and then I witnessed it, and it was like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. I mean, and then to be able to touch that rock, you have to kind of have a certain you have to earn that right, and I think we talk about all those things that certainly Coach Sweeney and coaches before have talked about, and the significance of that. So it ends the movie in such a great way, where they're all up there and Famar's up there with them, and it's just, I remember seeing the 4.5 on the jersey, half and number 9, and you just look at, these small little pieces they did on it, and it's like, I would get emotional every time I'd see these things, and I'm like, man, if that affects me there, imagine what a movie can do to people. So that's what I love, is bringing these stories and these positive, uplifting, stories to the theaters and to now these platforms. So, very excited.
Do you think, Mark, not having name actors in these primary roles could almost be beneficial in a project such as this?
Yeah, I mean, it's you want to get the very best act. We got great actors, and a lot of these, you know, they're discoveries. You know, there's not a lot of 20-year-old actors that are famous, and even then, you know, our actor Jay looks a lot like Ray. I mean, you were there. It's like, you know, and he's got his mannerisms and the way he speaks, and you know, he's been around for over a month with Ray, and you know, and having Ray there to talk about things and how things affected him, and you know, try to infuse the script and the movie with those things, and I think that's what makes great movies.